You dive. Wind rushes past your face as the sea of black sand spreads out before you. The translucent bubbles of colony dome cities dot the landscape. You're rejoining the earth your people left behind. You just wish this time wasn't so dire. Your island is sinking. Can you save it?
What's going on, YouTube? Earth Power here with Gorby. Are we okay?
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to find the right lighting.
Yeah, look,
So you can
Larry's
see.
kind of
Okay, that's not bad.
okay.
So we can make out the fragment.
we
Just have to,
are
like, split it.
we are getting set up for our first official game of Dust to Dust. So I figured we'd take you guys through just start to finish, just us kind of figure out what we're doing over here.
Oh.
So we are telling what we're starting with.
So we're going to start with the beginner set from the official Dust to Dust rulebook, seen here. The beginning set contains Wellspring Portal, Fern Tip Hare, Fuse Forge Blacksmith, Barrelhorn Rhino, War Rhino General, Mockboot Chaser, Fuse Gatekeeper, Poison Hand Chancellor, Dustseeker Drones, and Thistledown Hawk. So good variety. If you guys have checked out the set review videos that have been posted, you can learn what all these cards do in detail. Of course, we'll be doing our best to, tell you guys as we go on.
Yeah, and we'll give you guys some close-ups of the cards as we pick them, so you kind of know what we're doing.
And then this is going to be more of like an insight into our thought process as we play the game, to sort of give you an idea of like how we like to do things. And,
So I think you're shuffling up.
I'm shuffling the relics currently.
Okay. I was like, what is he shuffling?
So start of the game, you lay out your 10 cards, or your 10 allies in Earth is what this is called, along with extra fusion fragments and extra energy cells that you can buy.
8 fusion fragments, 10 energy cells.
Then your starting deck is going to be 8 energy cells
Yep.
and 2 fusion fragments. Which you guys would know, of course, if you visited the Kickstarter page and watched those neat little videos that Spencer and his team put together.
Not being passive aggressive, but
No, of course.
go do it, please.
Yeah, I don't know who they got to do voiceover for those things, but
Yeah.
those people were awesome.
Yeah, the quality that they put forth and the talent that they brought on for it. Awesome. Unreal.
So before I confuse my deck with the relics,
Yes.
I got the relics here. Start of the game, you shuffle up all the relics,
Yep.
and you split them into 2 piles of 5. Check out our relic review, so you can learn what all those do.
Yeah, the playlist is on the channel, so it's all condensed for you guys, hopefully, so it's easier to check it out.
You can, split them into 2 piles however you want. I'm just going to grab 5 and 5.
Put them face down. They actually go
Oh,
face
they
down.
do start face down,
And
don't
then
they?
you flip them as you go.
And I will shuffle again because I saw the metal tree. That is a pretty good relic.
Aren't they?
They're all pretty good.
They are.
Again, situationally. Watch the video. You'll learn.
Yes.
So,
And I think like Gorby said while he shuffles those up, I think the idea here is that we're just going to try to give you kind of a battle series-esque version of this game and talk each other through. Gorby and I, while yes, we are trying to beat each other, at the end of the day, this is more educational. At least I want it to be. We'll see how it goes. One of us might hate the other buddy, but
that's entirely possible.
it's fine.
And I'm looking at the cards that we've got out, and there's some pretty gross stuff on the board, but I'm excited.
So, the relics flipped. So, obviously, your 10 card pile that you start with is the 8 energy, 2 fusion fragment. You just shuffle them up. If you've got friends that you don't trust so much, I guess you can have them cut the deck, but I think we're good to go. There's our little deck slot down here in the corner. And again, sorry for the crop video, but we will try to show you guys as much of what we're doing as we do it. But the 2 relics that we will be fighting for first are the Gate Key and the Scry Sword.
This one.
Yes.
This guy.
Yeah, so the Gate Key, all the cards, obviously, they provide the 4 victory points. You dust a card from your hand when you have it. But Gate Key says first ally you play this turn is efficient. So every turn, first ally is efficient.
Which works out well because we have some non-efficient allies in the mix here, particularly our 2 attackers, as well as our shield. So, pretty cool stuff there. And then the Scry Sword, usual stuff, 4 victory points, 8 energy, dust a card. This one says, look at the top of your deck. You may dust or discard the card and draw a new card. It's a good way to filter some of the garbage out of your deck early. Pretty strong relic.
Alright, do you have a dice? So we decide to go.
Not handy. Just rock, paper, scissors. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Alright, go first.
Start with 5 cards.
Yeah, the players get 5. And age-old donut. Alright, so, looking at your first hand, you're always allowed to dust a card from your hand at any point in the turn. So, I'm not going to dust anything, but I only started out with 3 energy cells. Draw into my 2 fusion fragments. So, I will be spending my 3. I'm not going to dust anything this turn. I'm just going to spend my 3 and grab a blacksmith. Call that my turn. So, all of these cards will now go to the discard pile. The energy cells go when they're spent. Fusion fragments just get discarded from my hand at the end of the turn, and the card I bought also goes with them to discard. So I have my discard pile up here, right here.
Doing the best we can.
But then I draw my next hand of 5, and that doesn't shuffle until I possibly draw a card. But yes, now Gorby's turn.
So I promise this isn't scripted. I also started out with 3 energy cells and 2 fusion fragments.
Okay.
Unlike Carl, I am going to dust a fragment just to get that out of there early. There's plenty of options looking at the table for rebuying cards from the dust. So early game, I feel like I can be a little bit cheeky, and even though they are worth victory points, they're integral to winning.
Yes. But just because something goes to the dust playmat also doesn't mean that it's gone forever. There'll be ways to interact with it.
So I'm going to spend my 3 on Rhino.
So Gorby's pickup provides him 2 energies when it's down as a shield. I'm sure we'll see how that plays out later. And my strat, and the reason I wasn't going for fusion fragments, or dusting my fusion fragments, is because of what Fusion Blacksmith does. It lets me discard a fusion fragment from my hand to get the energy for it. So we'll see if that plays out well for me in turns. Our Gorby and I's next 2 turns are going to be pretty similar again, because the last 5 cards of my deck were the 5 energy cells. So we're going to spend dues, and if you see it done right, you just place them into your energy slots one at a time, and I've got 5 energies now, and we are going to spend 5.
There's only one 5-drop in the pool right now, which is the Poison Hand Chancellor here. But you can mix and match, so some of the deck building games I've played, you only get 1 buy a turn, no matter how many resources you have. Dust to dust, you can spend your resources until they're gone. So theoretically, Carl could buy a 3 and a 2 right now. So
I think that's going to be the play. I think I'm also going to go for a Barrel Horn Rhino and a Fern Tip here. 3 and 2. Again, they go to your discard pile when you grab them. The energy cells go with them. Now, since I don't have a deck to draw from, my discard pile gets shuffled, and now this is my current deck.
Alright. I am going to be a little bit more aggressive. I am going to dust one of my energy cells and only spend 4 down here in my little energy slot. I'm going to buy a Mockboot Chaser.
One of probably the more powerful cards in this game, just in terms of its functionality with it. Now I'm going to draw my new hand of 5. I was supposed to do towards the end of that turn.
And we're going to kind of play this at pace, I guess, is a good way to describe it for us. Because we're a little bit more familiar with the game, so we want to show you what it looks like as, you start to figure out the game more.
Right.
Of course, drawing your hand comes at the end of the turn.
Yes, you always need to have a hand when your opponents start playing on it. So, my turn now is going to look very similar to Gorby's from last turn. I'm going to dust an energy cell from my hand. I also have 4 energies. We are going to spin these on. I will also grab them up and discard, draw my new hand of 5.
Right. Now we get to start seeing a little bit of interaction here. My sort of aggressive dusting, I think, was referred to a little. Carl's deck is 2 cards larger than mine. Still at the stock 10, so I actually saw one of the cards I purchased, the Mockboot Chaser. So I choose an opponent to discard a card. Carl, if you would, sir.
Yes, I will. You're going to discard an energy cell.
Then I draw a card. So, right to hand. Mockboot Chaser is also efficient, so I get to charge my Barrelhorn Rhino shields.
Yes. So the way shields work is that they go face down, cost your ally action at the end of the turn in order to flip them up, I believe.
Yeah, they flip up at the end of your turn. It costs your ally action to charge.
Charge a shield. Okay, ally action is to charge, and they flip up at the end. Can't get their effect on the first turn you're charging it.
Correct.
Okay.
I am going to dust another fusion fragment. Again, dusting like this is something that can be done at any point in your turn.
Okay.
Turn's really not over until you pass, essentially.
Right. But that being said, you can only dust one card. Proactively, you can only dust one card from it.
So Mockboot Chaser is worth no energy, and I have 3 energy cells in hand. So I am going to... I think I'm just going to buy a spring. So I'll float an energy for the turn. Fortunately, not spending all. Being efficient, again, is a really important part of the game. But there are no 3-drops that I'm particularly interested in buying. I dusted all my fusion fragments, and I had my shield ready. So picking up a 2-drop, I think, is probably the correct way to go about doing it there.
And you don't have to feel like you need to spend all of your energy every turn. Every now and then you're going to end up with either an overance or, it's just going to happen. And it's okay.
Now I have 4 cards in hand. Only 4 cards in my deck that were left. So now I shuffle my discard. Ooh. Draw my 5th card. Flip up my shield. Turn is over.
Alright. So, now I get to do stuff. We're going to start off with, we're going to firm tip here. We're going to get back the energy cell, which makes firm tip efficient. We're going to play Fuse Forge Blacksmith. It's also efficient. We will discard a fusion fragment from the hand, which will allow him to have 2 extra energy provided to me this turn. So right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 energy on the board. My ally action this turn, I will charge my own Barrelhorn. But I think that's okay. Play our last energy cell for the turn. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grab a poison healer.
Okay.
Energies. To the discard pile now. Draw for 5. I have 3 cards in the deck spot currently, so shuffle up the graveyard. Discard pile. All our remaining 2. The Barrelhorn. And the turn will be.
So, start of the turn. My Barrelhorn Rhino produces 2 energy by virtue of being charged in my shield slot. To dust another energy cell, play 4 more energy cells from hand. Grand total of 6. So now we're starting to get into the real heavy hitters. I have the option of going for either a Thistledown Hawk or a Dust Seeker Drones. I think I'm going to go for the drones.
Dust 1 card from their hand, and draw a card or retrieve a card from dust.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
This boy's efficient.
This is the way CVH likes to play the game. CVH is a very aggressive early duster, and it often pays dividends, so I'm kind of taking a page out of his book here. I might just totally blow it, because he is much better at playing this way than I am. So we'll see what happens.
So, for our turn, Barrelhorn Rhino provides 2. So, Poison Hand Chancellor. To draw 1 card and all opponents discard 1 card. I'm not going to, so the other option is to just draw 2 cards, but I'm going to use this first effect. Draw a card and all opponents discard 1 card. I'm going to have to discard a card.
Discard an
I get
energy.
to draw 1. Dust proactively an energy cell. I will play 3 energy cells down. 1, 2, 3. Poison Hand provides 1. Barrelhorn provides 2. And I will get a Thistledown Hawk as my buy for the turn at 6. Discard the fusion fragment out of
Right.
5, and that will be my turn.
Okay. So start the turn, get my 2 energy from the Rhino. I'm going to lead off with a Mockboot Chaser. So, Carl, you can choose to discard a card, or you can get rid of your shield.
I think I'm going to discard an energy cell.
Okay. I'm going to play 2 energy cells, and I'm going to play a Wellspring Portal, which allows me to draw until I have 4 cards in my hand. I have cards in my deck. So, voila.
Spring proving
We've
how
effectively,
useful it can be.
effectively what I've done right now is just force my way into the mid game without actually having it.
Yep.
Which is not a bad way to go about things sometimes.
You can generate another 4 somehow, then
I can. So I've got Dust Seeker Drones, who is efficient and attacks. So I choose an opponent to dust one card from their hand. So potentially giving Carl an out to a little bit more efficiency here if he wants to get rid of an energy cell or something like that.
Just dust an energy cell from my hand.
I have 3 more energy cells.
Yep. For a max of
I
8.
forgot to draw my card. So draw or retrieve from dust. So what do I want? I think we're going to retrieve a fusion fragment from dust actually instead of drawing my card. So that, when you retrieve from dust, it goes to your discard pile. It does not go to your hand. Oh no, it does.
Is that true?
It does go to your hand.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I'm almost positive. Yeah, you're retrieving cards that come to your
Right.
hand.
It's a fusion fragment. I have nothing to do with it, so it's effective business right now. I'm just going to stick it in my discard pile.
Fair enough.
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 energy. So I have my first relic choice. And I believe I'm going to take the Scry Sword.
So, part of the ideology here is that the only allies Gorby has in his whole deck right now, because Arrowhorn's already on board, they're all efficient. So Gatekeep, letting his first ally be efficient every turn, not really going to do a whole lot for him right now. So, Scry Sword will at least give him some interactability.
So
He's
that's
pretty much playing through his whole deck every turn.
we're at what, turn 4?
Yep.
I've purchased a relic and I've seen my entire deck in a single turn.
Yep.
So now that we've purchased a relic, we flip up the next one. It is the Founder's Ring. A relic that I personally am pretty high on. I like that one a lot.
Big starting hand, yeah. Alright, so now we get into my turn, and I only have 3 cards in my hand, so Gorby made me discard them all. Wait for Gorby to finish shuffling, and then I will try to mess with him a little. I'm going to start our turn off with a Mock Boot Chaser. Efficient attack, choose an opponent to discard a card, and then I will draw 1 card.
I will actually block that.
Okay. Onto your hand.
Hold on to my hand. When you block, you send your shield from the shield zone to the discard.
And we will Huge Forge Blacksmith again. I will discard the Fusion Fragments to gain 2 more energy. And then we will play an energy cell for the turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the Barrel Horn. And I believe I want to grab a Seeker Drones. That will be my turn.
Right.
Attempt to draw up to 5. 2 cards in my deck, so we're going to shuffle up again. Deck is a lot bigger than I wanted it to be. All 3. 5. Now it is Gorby's first turn with a relic.
Alright, so first things first, whenever you start your turn, you have a relic. You have to dust 1 card from hand. So I'm going to dust an energy cell. And then I look at the top card of my deck. I might dust or discard it, and then draw a card. So I can leave it there. I can get rid of it if I don't want it. I am going to discard this energy cell. It's my discard pile. Draw 1 card. Okay. So now I'm going to lead off on a Dust Seeker Drones. So Carl has to dust a card from his hand or block with his Barrel Horn.
I will dust an energy cell.
I retrieve a card from the dust or draw a card. In this case, I'm going to draw. I'm going to play 3 energy cells. I'm going to play a Wellspring Portal. Let's draw until I have 4 in hand. I have 1 in hand now, so I only draw 3. 1, 2. Shuffle up these guys.
Something up.
Okay. Roll. Good.
So, we may have to figure this out, but we're going to play it this way for now. But I think energy cells is the second to last thing you do before the end of your turn.
Is it?
I don't think you can just play them down. So, could be wrong. Answer will correct.
So I've drawn to my 4 from Wellspring Portal. I have Mock Boot Chaser.
Discard an energy cell.
Card for the Chaser. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lay down 2 more energy cells. Charge the Barrel Horn and my shields.
Ally action.
I have 6 energy represented here.
Okay.
I'm going to get 2 Fuse Forge Blacksmiths. Discard it.
Yeah.
I think you are right, so thank you. Let me say
Yeah.
something.
Right?
Start
We can. I think we're right now. Alright.
Alright, have a deck.
Yeah, you went through your whole deck again. Alright. No draw phase. We're going to get to do some things. We're going to start with Burn Tip Hair, G-Cell, Burn Tip. Then go into a Poison Hand Chancellor, where I will draw a card, and I will choose my opponent to discard a card unless barrel.
Discard a Fuse Forge.
There. Thistledown Hawk. Get an Cell, Fusion Fragment, Dust. We will play 3. So, 3 energy played. Thistledown provides 1, Poison Hand Chancellor provides 1, Fern Tip provides 6, 7, 8 with Barrel Horn, and I will grab mine. I will choose the Founder's Ring. Founder's Ring lets me increase my starting hand size to 6. So here, I'll get discarded. My hand discards.
The Overclock.
So good. And I will draw 5.
So, start of my turn, I have to discard, or dust a card rather. 2. Then I'm going to make a chancy play. Dust a Fusion Fragment. Scry. Dust this Energy Cell.
Oh yeah, my starting hand.
To lead off on a Mock Boot Chaser.
Discard. This is the true power of shields, guys. It's really not hurting me to have it, and I'm discarding random cards, so we will discard an Energy Cell with his Mock Boot out of my hand of 6. Let him continue on.
I'm going to play a Wellspring Pool from my hand. Draw until I have 4.
2 cards for Gorby.
2. Pay Dirt. Dust Seeker Drones. Carl has to dust a card from his hand.
Also be Energy Cell.
Retrieve a card from Dust. Fusion Fragment. Here. Play my Fuse Forge Blacksmith. Discard the Fusion Fragment from my hand. Gain an extra 2 energy. So I have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 energy.
Yikes. Yep.
I get my second relic now. I so choose.
So choose.
I might. Thinking about the composition of my deck right now. It's a little bit thin on cards that I want to get rid of. So at the start of my turn, if I buy a second relic, I'm probably getting rid of a card that's like combo, which is
Or multiple.
it's kind of a downer. I think what I might actually do is get a Fusion Fragment and a Fuse Gate here. Get another Mock Boot Chaser. Fragment and Mock Boot Chaser for my 8 buy.
Stacking some extra bits in there. Fancy. Alright, now my turn. Where things get a little tough. So my starting hand size was 6, but I got attacked twice, so I only have 4 cards in hand. Because of Founder's Ring, I have to dust a card. So, 2. We're going to dust Mock Boot Chaser. So now my turn starts. We're going to start off with Fuse Forge Blacksmith. Discard a Fusion Fragment. So, the energy. And we are going to Dust Seeker Drones. Choose an opponent to dust 1 card from their hand, and then either draw a card or retrieve a card from dust. So, will Gorby dusting a card from
I
the old energy cell. I'm going to retrieve Mock Boot Chaser with the second effect, where it's either draw 1 card or retrieve a card from dust. And we're back to the Mock Boot Chaser that we dusted. And then we are going to play the efficient Mock Boot Chaser. Opponent discards a card, and then I
block this one.
draw 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 energy for the turn. 6. 6. A Fusion Fragment. And a Wellspring.
Alright.
Attempt to draw 6 cards, but so I thought this ridiculous big old gun.
Start off with the Scry Sword. Now I'm going to dust a card from my hand. So, and then Scry 1. We'll take the draw card from the Scry Sword.
So you dusted
an energy cell
from your hand, and then you.
the top card. Make dust or discard it, then draw.
Okay. What did you do?
True.
Did you dust or discard the first card you looked at? Then?
No, you don't have to. You may. So I'll keep.
Did not know that that's how that card. That makes it a lot better. When I explained that in the relic review, I think I just assumed that you had to do the first effect, had to dust or discard whatever the first card was, and then draw the next card. I don't know about that.
So I will dust Seeker Drones.
Forcing me to dust a card. These poor energy cells, man, they never really make it.
Really don't. But, you know, they're neat.
They're serving a cause.
Play Chase. Oh, forgot to draw a card.
Yes.
I'm not interested in retrieving an energy cell, so I will draw a card.
But you could.
Good. Mock Boot Chaser.
Discard a card, and will be an energy cell.
And then card.
Somehow just still.
Blacksmith. Discard a fragment. 2 more energy. Wellspring Portal to draw
Oh,
4.
I like that. What?
2. Jesus.
Let's calm down.
Play another Fuse Forge Blacksmith.
Oh, wow.
Discarding a fusion fragment.
Okay, it's working.
Another Mock Chaser. Card. Deck. Got 2 more energy. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Get a relic and an energy.
I could do that. I think a relic buy is definitely
Points to prove it, especially in the turn or in the game next turn. Man, I don't know the
So
numbers.
I want to just get into this other stack. I mean, these are based on the cards that are in my deck. These are effectively the same for me. So let's just get into the other stack. Let's see some other ones here.
At the gatekeep.
Ooh,
And
the
we
Order
got
Helm.
Very, very good relic, and that you ideally want on your third buy. So now I have to play to that. So I start my turn off by dusting a card from my hand, which, fortunately, an energy cell. Just can't seem to. And my one play this turn will be the Poison Hand Chancellor, and I will draw 2 cards.
Oh,
That's rough, man. It's real rough. I think I'm gonna lose now. I got absolutely trounced by all of Gorby's efficient attacks last turn. Able to fend off, and the deck was a little worse for wear. 1, 2, 3, 4 energy. Fusion Dragons in my hand, which will get discarded. So 4. I'm just going to buy a Mock Boot. That will be the whole turn. Now you get to see Gorby really put his deck to work here. He's got himself.
so
You do dusty.
that's right. So I'm going to start by dusting 2 energy cells. It's 2 in my deck there. I'm not going to lie. First, we have the Scry Sword effect. So draw this card to lead off Mock Boot Chaser.
Card a card for turn. The fragment.
Okay, card.
Lucky.
Fuse Forge Blacksmith. Discarding it. Fragment for 3 energy. Ally action. These are all ally actions. These have all been efficient so far.
Yep.
Unefficient. Carol Rhino just for the energy.
Right, so he's playing it this turn and not charging it, and that way he can get this turn.
And then a huge Wellspring to my deck.
Oof. It's not good for fire him.
So Fuse Forge. Discard a fragment. So that's another 3 energy. So we're at 8. Just because I don't want Carl to stack up on victory points next turn. I'm going to play the Mock Boot Chaser.
So we discard again.
To shuffle so I can actually draw.
This time I'm discarding Firm Tip.
Card. We'll play Dust Seeker Drones. Let's dust a card from his hand.
That's correct.
Retrieve a card from dust.
That's not too bad. That's just the. It's just the worst. It's just the absolute worst. This is not good for me. Man, guys, I'm in a bad spot. A real bad spot. Yeah, you've turned this deck into nightmarish. Yeah, I don't want to give you any of these cards. Obviously, that's what I can do is just dust that. And then draw nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. Just because.
Thanks.
Play it. Draw my fusion fragments.
Yep.
Hooray! So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 energy. So I will get my Order Helm. Then recruit allies with a combined cost of 7 or less. So again, important, allies. So I'm not buying fusion fragments here. However, Mock Boot Chaser is worth a victory point, so I will take him.
Yep.
And then I have 3 left, so I'll take a Blacksmith.
Yeah.
That's the home.
Here's his whole deck.
So now we have entered
The end.
the end game.
Yeah, so Gorby has grabbed his 3rd relic, which means all other players at the table have 1 final turn. So since I'm the only other player, I take my final turn. So wait for Gorby to shuffle because my cards require him to interact with me this turn. So weird. Those things. Oh, I also have to dust a card from my that's the Mock Boot because it's going to be a similar situation to last time. We're going to dust Seeker Drones. Choose an opponent to dust a card from their hand. Retrieve a card from dust.
You want to see what I dust first?
I do want to.
So I dust a Fuse Forge Blacksmith.
And that neat?
Carl has a fusion fragment in hand. It might be worth picking that back up instead of the mock boot.
Yeah. For better horizons. Mock boot. Discard a card, and I draw one. So.
Discard my own mock boot chaser. Did you get there?
Well, I got a Fusion Forge.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, not as great as we wanted it to be. I think I just got way too demolished by Gorby's attacks. But yeah, with 6, I mean, we can draw a Fusion Fragment and Hope and Pray. I guess we'll just get another Wellspring. Call it. That's the game, guys. So, everybody counts up victory points now.
So with victory points, Carl's still kind of in this.
Yeah, I was until that I got demolished by that second relic.
Yeah.
So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Puts me close, but I don't think I'm going to get the cigar.
So I have 4, 8, 12, 16. No. 4, 8, 12, 16.
Yep.
17, 18, 19.
Yep.
So still within spitting distance.
Beats me by 3, yeah.
You know, I got the last relic and I initiated the end game, but you know, one more good turn from Carl, he buys that, you know, that overclock or whatever, you know, the mock wings, and he's that much closer to just winning the game.
Yeah.
You know?
So it was,
or at least time.
It was tough, and yeah, for getting that trounced by your attacks every turn, that was rough to see you go through your hand twice like that. That Wellspring could not have hit better every single turn for you. It's awesome.
Well, and in your defense, we were misplaying with the energy in the beginning. I think I got my first relic off of a play like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, you know.
Right.
We're still knocking the rust off. It's been a while since we've actually played the game.
Yeah, and I think there was definitely a not necessarily a misstep, just a different way that the game could have gone for me with Barrel Horn in my shield. Those last couple of punches Gorby was giving me at the end there, I probably could have blocked that last Dust Seeker drones instead of dusting the card from my hand, the Wellspring Portal from my hand, because I think having that Wellspring Portal would have made for a better turn from me.
Yeah.
Going into that last turn, if I had just blocked it with Barrel Horn. I sacrificed the 2 energy from the Barrel Horn, but Wellspring, ideally just a fresh hand, because I was very energy efficient with this deck. I only had 4 left in here, amidst all of the other things I could have drawn, like Thistledown or anything else. So, slight missteps there, but like Gorby said, I think knocking off the rust is definitely where this was. And for a begin match, I think it showcased a lot of what this game can be and do. So,
absolutely. I'm going to toot my own horn just a little bit. The pivot to the mid game.
Yes.
Fuse Forge felt really good.
Yeah, that was a clean 6-buy. Yeah.
Shout outs to CVH. Just an absolute mastermind when it comes to playing card games. One of the smartest people I know when it comes to playing TCGs. I mean, the second we started testing this game, and he started going in on this, you know, super aggressive, like, I'm just going to get this crap out of my hand.
Yeah.
The second he started doing that, you know, it's a high risk strategy for sure. If I hadn't gotten after my first relic buy, if my turns hadn't come together the way they did, I think Carl's in a very good position to just take the game back in his control.
Yeah. There was a turn or two there where it was just maybe a single attack or not, but that Fuse Forge got you. I think where you needed to be almost every single turn. You hit on it every time, right? I don't think you missed once.
Yeah, well, I only had like 10 cards in my deck.
Yeah. So, final thoughts on our first game?
I mean, it's just as fun as I remember it.
Yeah.
It makes me wish, not wish, but it harkens back to, you know, back when we were testing and everything like that. And the long Sundays where we would get on Discord at 10 a.m. and test until 6 p.m. We can be nostalgic about this game, but I hope we put on a good showcase for the viewers and showed them, you know, hey, this is what the game looks like.
Yeah.
You know, this is how it's played. You know, you gotta be judicious with your shields. You gotta think, how badly do I really need this 2 energy Can I afford to discard this card?
Yeah, you talk about that like that was, almost every turn it just seemed like the correct move just to let the attacks through because this thing was providing a constant 2 energy. But in that last turn, I should have blocked. I let myself get comfortable with just having the shield there, so much so that I just forgot about its other ability. So it's important to be mindful of every board state, especially when you have 2 other people on the other 2 sides of the table. Things can get kind of intense. So it's important not to get lost in it.
And one thing that's important to note too, when you're playing these 2-player games, Carl and I only bought 8 of the 10 cards that were on.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I think my deck was, Wellspring Portals, Fuse Forge, and a Dustseeker.
Yeah.
Barrelhorn was there.
Poison Hand and Thistledown were there, but I didn't even bought Anstey.
Yeah, we didn't get to showcase War Rhino General or Fuse Gatekeeper, but that's kind of what happens when you play these 1 versus 1 matches.
Yeah.
Some player might take really early tempo lead, and then you're sort of fighting to pick apart their strategy, protect yourself, and there are definitely certain cards that are just better at doing that. So it's just a matter of responding correctly to your opponent.
It's a different game based on the number of people sitting in. It can be every time. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, let us know what you think, and like I said, I know it's very. This is just kind of what we've got right now, and outside of just seeing some of the tutorials online through Spencer's Kickstarter and then just actually watching this, I know it's a little hard to follow, but if you have questions, please ask them. I'm going to do my best to get kind of a wide shot of the pictures of these cards so you guys know what they're doing as we play with them, and you'll see that hopefully. So, yeah, leave a like, let us know what you think, and we'll see you guys next time.
Check out the Kickstarter.